deconstruction.
What's up, everybody? It's the Hard Deconstruction. You can find us at harddeconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/harddeconstruction, as well as facebook.com/the Hard Deconstruction with your host Comp and
Dragon.
Did you have an idea what this season of American Horror Story is called for Freak Show?
I'm thinking Freaky Vagina.
That is the most lamest name ever. Oh, man.
No, let's think of something,
No, let's call it the double twat. How about that?
The double twat, that works.
The double twat for our two main, or
for
one character,
Betty
one
and
actor.
Dot.
Yeah, Betty and Dot. Betty and Dot, the double twat. So, American Horror Story Freak Show, which is the 4th season of the seminal horror series, which shows on FX. It shows at, I think on, was it Wednesdays? Wednesdays at 10 p.m.? It's the show created by Ryan Murphy, and it's written by Ryan Murphy and created by also by Brad Falchuk. Stars Sarah Paulson as Betty Tatler and Dot Tatler, a conjoined, well, not conjoined.
How does she's really talented that she could play two people at the same time.
I know, they're so different. One's angry and one's sad. I mean, that is just the paramount of acting. Oh my god. There's also Evan Peters, who plays Jimmy Darling, who is also known as the Crab Boy. Is it Crab Boy? Lobster Boy? Sorry, Lobster Boy. Not seen in this episode is Michael Chiklis.
I like to think of him as Quicksilver. They should combine his abilities.
He can finger girls in fast motion. Okay, there's also Frances Conroy as Gloria Mott, the mother to a very psychopathic young man who played by Finn Whitrock, called Dandy Mott. There's let me see who else showed up in the episode, because the IMDb is listing everybody that's not even in there yet. Kathy Bates plays Ethel Darling, who's the bearded lady. Jessica Lange is the main I guess the showrunner of the Freak Show, and she plays Elsa Mars, which is a pretty cool name. I like. John Carroll Lynch, who played the maybe wasn't Zodiac killer from the film Zodiac, plays Twisty the Clown.
Really?
Yeah, that's him. He plays this freak of a fucking giant, which is funny because now
He's
thinking
a
about it,
scary clown, I gotta say.
Now thinking about it, they totally ripped off a scene from Zodiac for this episode, so which is kind of funny.
Oh, when he walks up to them at the picnic.
Yeah, that's a total rip-off of Zodiac. There's no...
Yeah,
but
you know what? This is the kind of show that's paying homage to everything.
Oh, yeah, of course. But it's just funny how people are like, oh, that's the scariest shit I ever saw. It's like, go watch the David Fincher movie. We reviewed the Zodiac film, so listen to that episode. There's Grace Gummer, which sounds like a blowjob from an old lady. She plays Penny the Candy Strapper, who gets stuck on drugs and, opium, I think, and she gets fucked by every freak in the place. There's also a tall lady in there.
Is that what her thing was? I was a little confused.
She was just a giant woman, which I don't think she's really a freak. She's just like tall. I've dated a tall girl. It's very hard to have sex with them. You have to stand on a book. There's Jyoti Amge, who plays Ma Petite, who's a very small... She thinks she's the smallest woman alive. She's from India. And Ryan Murphy has a thing with casting people that have actual, I don't want to say deformities. That's fucked up. They have they're special people. I don't know what to say.
Is that one with the arms real?
Who?
Like, there's this one guy that has like really
weird
that's
arms. You mean the guy with the bowler hat with the small arms?
Yeah, and he's got like kind of Tyrannosaurus Rex arms.
Yes, which is very fucked up for you to say, but yes, he's...
no, I feel bad for him if that's real.
No, he's alright.
I'm not even making fun. Like, it sucks.
They have a part where they had some, like, behind the scenes where they're interviewing him, and he's like, I like leaving my arms on my chest, because, everybody has their arms on the sword, but I like to keep them on my chest. And I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? But anyway, that's him. I can't think of the guy's name, but I think they call him, like, the Walrus or some weird name. He has, like, some kind of weird name, but he's pretty cool. It's funny enough because he's like a handsome guy too, which is very strange. But he has a pretty badass like tattoo on him. That's like that. What is that tattooing called? When I guess is it a chest piece or something? Because it goes up to his neck and everything. It's like those cool tattoos and shit that I can never get.
A chest piece doesn't have to go up to your neck. Like, what do you mean? Like what the
his tattoo? You saw what his tattoo looked like?
Oh,
his name Matt Fraser. He plays Paul the Illustrated Seal. That's why I guess because his arms are kind of like flipper looking. And he has a tattoo that like basically from his shoulders to his throat, which I like that when people they acknowledge that they're different, but they have that cool ass they don't give a shit about it. It's just pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean the show's kind of cool in the sense that it gave all these people like legitimate acting jobs, and not just like being like a freak circus performer, you know.
Yeah, probably the worst actor is the little girl. I mean, the little woman. Excuse me, the short woman. But I don't think. I think it's because English is not her first accent. I mean, English is not her first language. Excuse me.
She knows it better than you, apparently.
Obviously, yeah. But she does. You can tell when she's speaking because she sounds almost like the Lollipop Guild from Wizard of Oz. That they kind of slice all her words together. Like they're just—it's almost like they're telling her to say these words in English, and then they kind of chop it together. Because if you hear it, it's like, Miss Mars, they told me you have to.
Oh, okay. I thought that was actually how she talked. So I was like,
I mean, it may be. I might be completely wrong about it, but yeah, you can tell she's totally at it. But whatever. Ryan Murphy has a thing where he keeps having that actress who has Down syndromes on the series. I don't know. I guess she won't be on this season. I don't know.
No. There's
Is she gonna be here?
The girl who is in the first episode of Asylum who like ate someone's ear or something or whatever.
You're talking about Dot? No, not Dot. I'm sorry.
She was like a pinhead.
The pinhead,
kind of
right? Yeah, she was in.
I think I actually saw her.
She is here. She's here, and she has like a male counterpart. I forget her name because I guess they liked her character a lot. Why am I forgetting her name?
Oh, are you talking about the one with Down syndrome from last season? Coven?
Yeah. Like from Coven and from the first season. She I didn't like how they kind of got rid of her character in the Coven season. The Down. I hate saying the Down syndrome girl. I feel bad, but her character.
That's what it's called. That's fine.
Yeah, but she got killed off like unceremoniously in that show. It just kind of felt like that's my only thing with this series with American Horror Story is that they start out very strong and then they have really horrible finales.
Well, they always get like ahead of themselves. Like that's why I'm not even like super excited for the season.
They literally throw everything into a show. I mean, I think what it is, it's like the show basically, it almost feels like it reincarnates itself every season. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the same thing.
I love that they use the same actors and stuff. That's great.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think what it is that you set yourself up knowing, this is going to be crazy, but then it does kind of be like, it does become a little bit repetitive in a way where you're like, I know that these people are going to have sex
I think what they actually
kill each other.
do, because like especially in Coven, there was like this whole fucking, you remember the witch hunter guys, and then they killed them all in that office or whatever? That whole plot was like so quick and over, but they built it up like it was going to be. Like, they actually have, 20 people sitting in a room, and they just throw ideas out, and they're like, oh, that's good, and they try to do every single one.
The way you just said that, it seems like they all have, cocaine, a whole line of cocaine in a circle, snorting, and go, yeah, that's good.
Maybe they do.
Witches, like that and stuff. But, it kind of seems like that.
Maybe they do, though.
But I'm always, convinced that the season finale for American Horror Story won't be as good as what it's led up to, because Murder House had a really bad finale. Asylum was better. It was better. It was on the right track. Coven was kind of a stupid finale, but it was like more of a feel good. But that felt more like some kind of a weird ass woman power kind of finale, and it threw me off.
That whole season was woman power.
And I think which is fine by me, but it was just like some weird, it felt more like a Tyler Perry movie at the end where all the women were happy with each other and some kind of stupid shit, you know what I mean? And then you see Aunt Medea come out on a broomstick flying around and shit. But with this, this season, this season obviously owes a lot to a film that everybody should watch, which is called Freaks by Todd Browning. It's a film.
The old one, yeah.
Yeah, have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I have seen that.
It's like, I think it was was it from the late 20s or early 30s? I'm not sure, but it was a film that gave
it was in black and white,
right? When Todd Browning, well, I guess people talked in it, so I guess it was more. You can actually hear them speak, from what I remember.
I would guess it's probably the 50s or something.
I think it was a little bit earlier than that, but it was a film where Todd Browning got a lot of shit for directing it because it was so disturbing to people. Because I guess people back then, how Puritan people were back in the days, that they couldn't handle seeing.
You're right. It's 1932.
Yeah, they couldn't handle people kissing on screen and shit like that. I guess they could for that film. There's just certain things people could handle, and they couldn't see. I just remember watching it and being amazed at the type of film it was and how dark and creepy it is, and especially what happens to the antagonist at the end of the film, where they kind of just turn her into a human chicken. It's just something you got to see to believe. And plus, it had a scene of this this one guy who had no arms and no legs. I guess they called him the human worm in the film. It was like this African American guy, and they showed him actually like roll a cigarette and light it up. And I still don't know how he did it. I have to like watch that scene and go,
I guess when you have no arms or legs, you figure out how to do things.
I guess so, because I remember just watching it and being like, I was like, my jaw was dropped because I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is a great movie because it was so different. And it makes you feel guilty for being like, you know, I want to see the freaks. I want to see what's wrong with these people, you know, shit like that. But
no, I hate that kind of stuff.
It's really like, I know you just have a vengeance against
way.
Disabled people.
No, not even like that. I mean,
you should see when Danny passes by like kids in wheelchairs, he just starts vomiting. It's very offensive. But anyway, yeah, this series
it makes me feel horrible. Like it makes me feel so guilty.
Yeah, oh, it's so horrible. Yes, so horrible to be disgusted by people with deformities. It's such a terrible thing.
I'm not disgusted by people.
What a tragedy for Danny. He's so much better than us.
He's just making it up.
Yeah, okay. Anybody who has... I just realized that thing. Remember that guy with the popped out eyeballs? Apparently
just stop.
That's apparently something called Graves' disease.
I don't want to hear about it.
And I think... I had that or something when I was younger, but my eyes didn't pop out, so I guess I didn't have a bad version of it. That's what causes your eyeballs to pop out of your head. It's pretty interesting.
I don't want to hear it. Just please.
Big old juicy eyeballs popping out of your head like a slug. So anyway, with this season of American Horror Story Freak Show takes place in the 50s, and it's about we're led to see these two characters. Well, we're seeing Sarah Paulson, who's always like always the second main actress, I guess, in the series behind what the hell is her name? Jessica Lange. Jessica Lange says this is her last season of the show, but Ryan Murphy's like, oh please, you know, keep working on the show, which she should. You know, I mean, what else is she doing besides being in King Kong? Who the fuck, you know, what else? But anyway, she's really good in the show, and every season she always has a really great monologue sequence, except for the first one. She was kind of like an ancillary character, or like a side character.
Still never saw the first season.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're not missing anything.
That's what everyone says.
Oh, you know what? You actually are missing the maid. The maid is worth watching the show.
Well, I heard she's really hot, but then I heard she's also like...
Daddy, I gotta tell you this. When I saw the first season, and every time she would come on, I was like, holy fuck. I was like, I couldn't believe how... Like, and usually I'm not like that crazy about like women in film, because pornography has ruined everything for me. Yeah. So like when you see a hot girl in the show, it's like, oh, she's okay. But that one where I was like, oh my God, like she was like actually incredibly gorgeous. She like blew away everybody on that show, but she's the only reason to watch that show. Anyway, with this season, we're seeing Sarah Paulson plays a two-headed woman, women, I guess.
Two-headed boy.
Betty and Dot. Is it Betty and Dot or Bet? I forget. Whatever. It's Betty Dot.
I don't know.
Whatever. So there is an actual woman. I hate saying woman, but it's like not conjoined.
Do you think that that's actually special effects, or do you think she actually like rehearsed that role?
See, everybody, that's Danny being clever. So there's this. There's an actual girl, women like that. I hate. There's a two-headed woman basically. Although it is two independent heads. Have you seen her? That girl who has two heads.
I don't want to. No,
it's just a girl with two heads. She looks like.
No, I don't want to see it. Please, seriously.
Oh, you hear that, people? He says he doesn't want to see it.
It just freaks me out.
He calls her an it. He's so fucked up.
I didn't say that.
There are these two girls that are like, I guess they live in the South or something, and they're actually pretty sweet. They're two-headed.
Well, they're not really sweet. I mean, she kills her mom.
You're a piece of human garbage. But they're very nice girls. Mom. And they did,
She killed her mom.
No, I'm talking about the real girl with the two heads, not Betty and Dot. Anyway, but those they actually exist, so they kind of, instead of doing a conjoined twin thing, most notably, the most famous conjoined twins of these were these two Chinese brothers, and like one died of a heart attack, and then the other one died like hours after him because I guess he was sad or something like that. That happened in real life, and they actually married two different women, and they would have sex. It was some weird shit going on. Anyway, so Betty and Dot are these two ladies. At the very beginning of the episode, this milkman is walking around. He finds the body of this deceased woman, and he looks inside of this closet. I thought it was a clownery that was killing people, but it's not. The milkman finds this creature hiding in the closet, and they bring it into the nearby hospital. From there, we meet Elsa Mars, who's this German. What do you think of her German accent? All right, or kind of BS?
It's okay.
A little bit, yeah. It seems a little goofy, but
I was
whatever.
having some collective consciousness flashbacks of my people.
I'm not gonna say nothing. But Elsa Mars is from the beginning. You can tell she's already angling her way to get Betty and Dot for whatever reason she wants to, and she's like a smooth talker. She has this German accent, and she runs a freak show with her compatriots, which is like we said before. It's Evan Peters, who plays Jimmy Darling. There was this famous guy who was called Lobster Boy. And I guess he was like a drunkard, and he would beat his wife or something. It was fun. I guess how much of a beating can you give somebody with lobster hands? Do you think you could choke them and like?
I mean, if they actually can cut things like a real lobster, you can.
It's very wrong of me to say it, but yeah, he used to just beat the shit out of people. He would, and then they would try to boil him alive. It was very insane. No, actually, they shot him to death, and they got away with it. Basically, his family killed him. Somebody killed him. I think his wife killed him in real life.
I could be Lobster Boy. I love lobster. It's like my favorite.
Imagine if it was that kind of, like, that bullshit, like, what was that thing? There was this big gag, I guess, in real life or something like that, where they say man eating chicken. You know, like, you're expecting a chicken to be eating a man, but then it's just like a guy with a bucket of KFC
eating
and shit.
Chicken, you're right. Like, but, yeah, if I could be if, like, you could combine a guy who actually has that deformity on his hands and get him to sponsor Red Lobster or something.
And then he's
just like, every commercial just features him using his claws to crack the shell of the lobster, and he's like,
and they have him in a really hot room, and there's like a stick of butter on his head melting, and he's just there, and there's people they hire gigantic, like, 8-foot men to sit next to him with bibs on, waiting for him to die. Anyway,
they have him swim around in a tank.
So Jimmy Darling is there. I guess he moonlights as a pervert, I guess, or a male prostitute. Although it doesn't seem like he doesn't have sex with the women. I think he just kind of fingers them.
Manually stimulates them.
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of women because it's a war. The Korean War has just happened, so all their husbands are, they all have permanent whiskey dick, and I guess he just fingers these ladies, and it's a very bizarre scene. And the show is kind of like dirty. The show is dirty and it's disgusting. So they do have that scene where he's just putting his hand up a woman's dress, and it's like he just basically imagine your 4 fingers are in the Spock, live long and prosper kind of hand gesture, but fused together and giant.
Always doing that.
Yeah, so he's just kind of fingering. I wonder if nowadays they're able. I'm sure they fix it nowadays, right? They could just split the rest of the fingers into moving, or maybe not. I guess because the bones would be fused.
I mean, even the bearded woman thing. Like, I was like, afterwards, I was like going on Google, like, why doesn't a bearded woman just get electrolysis? And it was saying like, that some, like, I was reading that this one tried to like 4 times and it didn't work, so she just embraced it.
Yeah, but anyway, Jimmy Darling is there with his mother, who plays the bearded lady, and she's already turning in another good fucking. She's just really good. She's a really, really great actor. Kathy Bates is just like.
I'm glad that they got a level of her acting. She's like a big star. Like,
I think she's actually better than Jessica Lange so far in the season itself. I think maybe it's just because the German accent's throwing me off a little bit, but I think Kathy Bates is just really
Kathy Bates got some weird accent going on too.
Yeah, it's like I can't pick up where that accent is from.
Wisconsin or something.
Yeah, because she almost has that Canadian a boot thing. You know that thing every time we do an episode with Thea, I'll hear her say a boot, and I fall in love with how she says it, and I just say it again because it's like funny. It's like a Canadian person. But we love Canada. Anyway, but Kathy Bates has that. She's very stern, and she's very like, she's basically the right hand man to Elsa Mars, and she doesn't take shit from anybody, and she's like telling people to be grateful for it. But you can tell that she's kind of getting sick of Elsa's shit. Where Elsa wants to be a star. Elsa
is very selfish.
Elsa's very what's that show? I don't know that movie about the lady who has to take care of an invalid, and she thinks she's a movie star in the 40s. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? She's kind of like this woman who's delirious in her own beliefs that she should be a star.
Does it take place in Yonkers?
What? Whatever happened to Baby Jane, or this?
Yeah.
What?
I'm thinking of a different movie.
Yeah,
whatever.
But you can tell there's a sequence towards the end where Elsa had just done a performance, and it's so funny because I'm watching it, and they have the freak show gets on once they have Betty and Dot with them, and they only do a performance for 2 people, and that's kind of like how it is with like real bands and stuff. Like bands must play for anybody, like they have to play for whoever is there just because you're getting paid to play.
Yeah, I've done gigs where there's only like one couple dancing drunk, like towards the end, and like you have to keep going for like an hour as they're just dancing around.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad, but you kind of like realize it is just work in a sense, because I've seen that happen before, especially working with bands.
It's usually
before.
kind of fun, actually. Like it gets, the whole band's in on the joke at that point.
Yeah, you're kind of getting paid
to go overboard.
You're kind of getting paid to practice, and so I think eventually, like the series American Horror Story is just going to get more like kitschier and way more what is the word, campier? Because last season they did it. I remember everybody else liked it a lot, and maybe I'll like it again if I saw it. Not last season, in Asylum, where they do the name game. They had they had a sequence in that film, and it threw me off. And to me, it was like the worst part of the whole season. Everybody else liked it except for me, because it had no like essence of reality in the show. Like I know the show was about aliens and all this shit, but then they popped into this hallucination scene with the name game, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then in Coven,
I remember liking that though. I like that, like over the top cheesy sometimes.
I know, and so I think it's going to be like a recurring thing, because in Coven they did that with the singer. Oh my god, why am I not thinking of her name? Remember that Nikki.
What the fuck?
She sang. Oh my god, she sang.
I can't believe why I can't think of this.
Make you make down, settle your illusions of love. Oh my god, fuck that. Anyway, they had that whole music video at the beginning of the final episode of Coven, and in here, Elsa Mars does a cover of "Life on Mars" by David Bowie. Because at first I was watching it.
Stevie Nicks,
excuse me, Stevie Nicks from Coven. But anyway, in this one, she's singing a "Life on Mars," which makes me automatically think about that. There was a show that was in the UK called "Life on Mars," which is about this police officer who he gets into an accident. I think what happens? I think he gets in an accident in the 70s, and then he's launched into the future. Okay. And then they made an American remake of the show where I think he's he's a guy in the present that gets into an accident and ends up in the 70s. And then they canceled the show, so the finale, because American writers are so good, they literally made it about like he wakes up a second time, and it was a whole a test on Mars. In Mars, like they were on Mars, so it was like they're like, oh fuck, how do we make this show literally Life on Mars, even though it had nothing to do with Mars in the original version, because they're fucking stupid. And even I didn't watch that show, and I was like, that's pretty horrible. But she sings this, and it's very Glee-esque, and she's auto-tuned to hell, Jessica Lange. And and it's like very kind of crude musical instruments from I guess they're not crude because musical instruments are pretty good in the 50s, but you do hear like
they're using classical instruments as opposed to synths, is what
right. Although you do hear synths, and you do hear guitar, like rock guitars, and I was like, where are those coming from? But then I was like, oh yeah, this is a show. Like,
do you think that she ever sued David Bowie for ripping off her song? I mean, that's
yes, obviously she wrote it in the 50s, because this takes place in the 50s, and David Bowie's like, "Hello, I'm going to take this song," and he just
David Bowie saw that freak show as a child, and
he was looking between the rafters, like, "Hello, I can't believe this song's so cool. I'm going to use this song myself." That's my Michael Caine impersonation for David Bowie. But I literally saw somebody wrote. I was looking at like a website, and he took like one of the lines that I think. Did you see The Dark Knight Rises? You know, the last Batman film. You know the part where he's talking about his dream seeing
seeing him at a restaurant, and then
and they took it. And they wrote what he said phonetically, and I can't really do it, but it's like the funniest thing I ever saw, because they're like, I think I saw you insult a couple of these types, and you was right, you acknowledge me. And I was laughing my ass off, because it's like the fucking Cockney accent. Anyway, she sings Life on Mars, so it's a very over-the-top, crazy musical thing where I think they're just getting campier and campier each season, which I didn't mind it in this one. I actually liked it in this. I thought the cover was nice. Her voice.
That whole scene is basically just to show that Jessica Lange, Elsa, is really into being a star.
And when I was watching the episode, I was kind of like, there's got to be something up with Elsa. And I was like, maybe. And this was me literally in the beginning of the show. I was like, maybe she has no legs. And then at the end of the episode, she took the legs off.
I actually was totally surprised. I kind of just took it as she's just like this person who pretends to sympathize with these people, but is really exploiting them. But
like if it was her last right. Because I was watching at the end, and I literally threw my fist in the air out of some sort of bizarre, like, pride. Like, I was proud of myself that I knew she wouldn't have any legs. Like, I was like, what's wrong with me, like, after the episode? But concurrently, there's also a character named Twisty the Clown, who's played by John Carroll Lynch, who, like we said before, was in Zodiac. He played, like, this... I guess basically the number one suspect in that film. I guess next to Charles Fleischer, who played Roger Rabbit, and he was also the cross-dressing brother of Drew Carey in the Drew Carey Show. And Twisty the Clown is this character who is a giant clown who looks like
he's scary.
He's pretty frightening looking, and I'm
glad I'm not scared of clowns. You know, if I was, I wouldn't watch the show.
He has like a headpiece and a lower jaw piece, which is like, I guess, it looks like somebody's flesh. Like he just tore off somebody's face and either put it in formaldehyde or something. And it has like these clown teeth put on his face. He's about as decently as creepy looking as Pennywise. I'll give him that. You know, they did a good design on his character because he's very creepy looking. He literally looks like he looks like he's.
Do you think they'll ever show him like as
without his
as
mask
John
on?
Carroll Lynch? Because my theory was maybe like they'll take the mask off and it'll be like Francis Conroy's son or whatever. Like they don't have to have John Carroll Lynch play the actual version of him, you know.
From what I'm aware of, and with the interview that they had with Ryan Murphy, they said once you take his mask off, you're going to be really frightened. So I assume he has no bottom half of his mouth. That's what I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
I think it's pretty obvious that he has no face. Like he has no nose or no mouth. He has a nose,
like
right?
A freak. He's got like a hair lip or something.
Yeah, because apparently what his storyline is going to be is that he's pissed off that there's a freak show there, and they set it up pretty. I just like the way he's lit, and he looks like he's actually. He looks more of like he's like a black and white character. You know what I mean? The way he looks, he's all gray and really disgusting,
you
dark
racist.
and. I said gray. Oh, okay. For that second, I said he looks black. Like I didn't say that. I was like, he said he's gray, but he looks like.
I was talking about the aliens.
Oh,
You're
okay.
Insulting the grays.
He's very dark, very creepy looking. He's lit like almost differently from everybody else. And you can see that part where he sees Jimmy Darling, because Jimmy Darling is very pissed off about being called a freak, and he's upset with the life that being treated like shit, which is fair enough. I understand that, and he ends up killing a detective that is trying to who figured out that Betty and Dot had killed their mother. So he kills him, and then they all decide to slash him into pieces, which I'm going to tell you a creepy thing that I saw.
What?
Because, I like looking at creepy websites and footage of people getting killed for real, right? So anyway,
come on.
I saw this footage. There's this footage of this German, I don't know if it was a German guy, this European guy who used to, it's a real dark one, man. This guy used to...
is it going to upset me?
Maybe. But he used to take footage of, like... This is not funny. He took footage of, like, he would fool these young boys and tell them that he was making a movie, because I think he was an actual filmmaker. This is, like, footage from the 40s or the 50s. And he would set up, like, his little camera, and he would tell these young boys, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a movie where you're struggling, like, you're gonna get choked. So the kids would actually stand up to a noose, and then he would kick the fucking things off where they're standing on and actually hang them.
Oh, man.
And
even as they're dying, they're probably thinking, like, oh,
this is the worst movie ever. But, like, he's killing... This is, like, actual footage you can find, like, on those websites. It's really horrifying that people like this existed. He got arrested, and, they tried him, I guess. But the only funny part is, because this shows you how creepy people are, there's a shot of him with the camera, and he's, like, the body's dead or whatever, and he's zooming in on their shoes. Like...
Right.
Is that?
What's wrong with you?
No, I'm laughing that he's looking at, like, he's shooting somebody's shoes. Like, they're dead, right? And then he's filming their shoes. Like, what are you doing?
Maybe he's got a foot fetish.
Obviously, but can't you do that without killing somebody? Like, just look at people, like,
he's got
looking
a
at
necrophiliac foot fetish.
But anyway, how that ties into this is that there's a very obviously grotesque grotesque scene where he takes a meat cleaver and he starts chopping the bodies, and they look just like this. They look exactly real like that. And people don't look at that footage. It's pretty horrifying. But if you like laughing at people's feet fetish, that's pretty funny. But other than that, you're gonna see children get chopped up into pieces.
You could see a Quentin Tarantino movie.
What are your predictions with how this is gonna go? Because we are gonna see Michael Chiklis, who I guess is I was about to mix him up with Hank from Under the Dome, but no. Michael Chiklis from The Shield, and he was also...
You just call him Hank from Under the Dome.
Yeah, nobody knows who that. Dean Norris, excuse me. But anyway...
He's from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, no, he's Hank. That's why I said Hank from Under the Dome. Under the Bad.
Oh, I see.
Breaking Dome. Whatever. So, Michael Chiklis, who was also the Thing in the horrible Fantastic Four movies, he plays...
I like those movies, whatever.
What?
They're so bad, but I like them.
The Fantastic Four movies?
They're terrible, but I like them.
Danny, that movie, the movie I just told you about, the guy chopping up the people in real life is better than those fucking movies. Nah, not really. I feel bad for those kids. Their ghosts are now in hell somewhere. But anyway, with their shoes. Right. But yes, he's going to be playing a strongman who I think was married to Kathy Bates' character, so I guess it's going to cause like some trouble. He's married, and his character...
I think that guy's from The Wire or something.
His character is now married to... who's that delicious actress who played the Voodoo Queen in the third season? Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
That lady is like 50 or something. She looks young as shit. That's very crazy. But she plays Desiree Dupree, who has 3 breasts and is a hermaphrodite. So, which is pretty funny because she's like, you're a hermaphrodite, and then they tell the husband that, he goes, "Yep, best of both worlds," or he says, "Yeah, it's great. I feel great about it." It's pretty funny. But yeah, what do you think about the whole? What did you think about this episode? Like, what did you think about how it went? And do you feel it's like already? I mean, it's got the highest ratings.
I mean, my feeling about this show, well, I said it to my friend pretty perfectly, is that it's like,
oh, you're perfect, huh?
It's fun to watch. It's always entertaining, but I never invest too much in it because it never matches up what I hope it's going to be.
This is a series where you. It's
he's
like,
in The Shield. Okay, I'm sorry, I went back to that.
Yeah, Michael Chiklis. It's a series where you're, how, it's almost like eating like a bag of potato chips or something that it's a guilty pleasure show. So know it's not anything more than it is. Although you will see really good performances in it because it seems every season there's always an actor that, like, I can remember in the second season with Jessica Lange as in the second season with Jessica Lange when she has all these monologues about the evil in men and stuff like that. That shit she's great in it. I don't think not so much.
There's always cool stuff. There's always like a couple scenes that I love.
Like, even though the show is basically B grade level of like smut, it's handled really well, like directing wise and artistic wise. It's just really fantastically hit. It's just there's no question about the quality of the show.
The script always fucks up and loses track at some
towards
point.
The end of towards the end of the season, it always happens. Like they just don't know how to wrap it up.
They'll be like 2 or 3 episodes in a row that are like, what's happening? And then all of a sudden a really good one, and then like another one that's like halfway good. Like, it's just too sporadic. So
basically from the trailer,
I'm not gonna care that much, but I will watch the whole season.
Yeah, me too. From how the trailer looks, like it basically looks like that Twisty the Clown is gonna be offing each person from the freak show. Because you can see in the trailer that they showed that the little woman, Ma Petite, the Indian smallest woman in the world, gets put in a blender or something because or drowned or something. You see it in the trailer. Like, why are they showing that? That's like in the trailer. But it's basically going to be, I think, and Elsa Mars is going to get like angry about Betty and Dot because one of them sings, is a good singer, and Elsa thinks she's a good singer. It's so funny when Frances Conroy's Gloria Mart, the mother of that psychopath, and she's like, I was mad about that caterwauling you. She was like making fun of her singing, and I was like, oh shit. And then now when you see Betty and Dot, you can see it looks like they're going to have some sort of like vengeance towards the two-headed woman that she brought to her own show, and it's going to get people coming to watch it. And then Twisty the Clown kidnapped a a woman in the very Zodiac-esque scene, and a little boy, and I don't know, he's putting on little shows for them, and they're freaking out. I mean, everything looks good about the show. The directing of the first episode.
I love the way the clown moves too. He's like so like fucking freaky.
Yeah, and I like how he does the little curtsy or the little bow and stuff like that before he does the show. Because if I was that woman and he came up to me, I still would have fucking ran. I would have got out of there.
I would have ran full speed.
The directing of the episode is great. The music is great. I think Ryan Murphy, I guess, directed this episode, and it's so good. Because he started directing. I'm not too aware of what he's directed, but he's directed. I think not Angels of America. This recent film in HBO about AIDS that got a lot of awards for it and stuff like that. And just this episode when Betty and Dot are talking to Elsa Mars, and the split screen would kind of just sneak in from side to side when she's talking to him, and then you would see two different camera angles at once. I just loved that shit. I was like, oh, because it reminded me of this other director from Coven, the Coven season. I think it was this Spanish director. I forget his name, but he's really good. And the directing in this one and the music, it's all like atmospheric.
And he'll be back on this one, you think?
I'm pretty sure, because I think he's one of the main. They used him a lot of times in the last season for Coven, and I think he got a deal from people seeing his work in the show. He just directed, I think, a remake of this old like 70s horror film, this old 80s horror film about the town that didn't want to go to sleep or some shit, like The Town at Night or some shit like that, about this masked killer that never got caught. So
do you think that they're doing something with planets too? Because I'm reading right now about Elsa and saying her name's Mars.
Right.
It's a German woman in Jupiter, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Like, do you think that's like a total coincidence?
Wasn't Mars
also,
like the god of
the Zodiac?
Wasn't Mars like the god of fire or something like that?
I don't know Zodiac stuff.
Or
I know
God of
Jupiter's
War or something like that. No, somebody was God of War. I don't know. That might have been whatever. But I think the show so far, then again, I've said that about the past two seasons. It has a very strong start. I think this is a stronger start than Coven. Asylum had a great start to it, and I don't know who we'll see. Dennis O'Hare will be back. He played the butler in the last one, and he also, he was also the guy who was the butler. Emma Roberts is back, but I think that's basically because she dates Evan Peters in real life. She played the super bitch in the third season that people love on Tumblr. You didn't like her?
Nah.
Remember, she really beat up Evan Peters in real life, and now he got engaged to her, so she is she's the Chris Brown to his Rihanna.
Right.
But I think, I like it. I like how it's going. Even the Candy Striper girl, how they have her hooked up on whatever drug she was on. I think it was opium. It's just nutty, and the show's already going crazy. Erica Irvin was Amazon Eve. I guess that's the tall girl. But yeah, it looks good. I like it so far. It has a good aesthetic to it. To me, it's gonna be more interesting than Coven is, because Coven kind of had some cool stuff going on, but they kind of just went nowhere with it. I like the Axe Murderer from the third season, but they didn't really do much.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That kind of stuff was cool, but they kind of just like went bizarre with it. Where he was a ghost, and he ended up in hell with her, but like her hell was
he enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know. It was good hell for him. Like, that shit didn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, whatever. There's also a legless Susie, the woman who I guess is walking around on the floor. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in this episode. It's good. I enjoyed it. The new guy is called Meep, that has the pinhead. That's the pinhead Meep. Oh, no, maybe he's the other guy. Whatever. You gotta watch it. It's a really good show. And,
we will definitely
be covering this show because a lot of people like the show. And also, remember, on YouTube, we get the most shit for putting up American Horror Story because people think we put the episodes up, but they didn't realize we were reviewing it. So then
it's called horror deconstruction. I mean,
they like to remind us of how useless and pointless we are as people.
And we always put in the descriptions like Alex and Danny, blah blah blah. Like, it's not about the show.
And it's funny.
It's about the show.
I mean, at the beginning, it really bothered me where I would start insulting people back then. I realized, it's just going to happen forever, so that's why we put the word review on it now.
YouTube is, like, actually known to be, like, the worst commenters. I go on it all the time for different things, and, like, you'll see, like I'll be on, like, a meditation video, and you will see people cursing each other out in the comments. It's like, you're supposed to be meditating. What are you doing?
We have our most followers are on YouTube, so go figure. Anyway, so with that, Danny, what rating would you give this one?
Well, I mean, it's the first. It had a pretty strong start.
Yes.
I'm going to give it, like a 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. Horrifying clown turning into Donkey Kong and horrifying a little boy and a girl.
Turning into Donkey Kong? What, he lifted up the barrel and destroyed it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I remember when he was, like, rampaging the cage.
Okay. I'll give it a 9 out of 10, using your horribly fused fingers to sexually gratify a married woman whose husband couldn't get it up since he was in the Korean War. So with that, Danny, what's the final word?
E pluribus.
The horror deconstruction.